Hey guys, Utah Steve back for another video, and today I am answering a 10-question tag. I've been tagged by Camilla Ofia from Sweden, the north of Sweden, like way up there, like right now 10 times colder than it is in my backyard. She has some cool videos. She often goes out and hikes just with her little Shih Tzu, Fia, and cute little dog. And I watch her videos frequently. She was nice enough to tag me. This is one of those lists that gets passed around, and I don't know where it originates. Some of the questions are meh, and some of them are pretty decent that make you think. And we'll go through all of them, all 10. We'll start with number 1. Who are you? I'm Utah Steve. Who am I personally? I'm a musician. I'm a poet, I'm a writer, I'm an author, I've written books. Nothing that's made me famous or rich, it's just a passion I have. I'm a songwriter. I've been a musician for longer than some of you have been alive. This year I will be turning 24 for the second time. And you do the math on that. So my body doesn't quite keep up the way it used to, but I love the outdoors. It's my passion, and I like to combine the ingredients of the other passions I have in life with my videos to make them more interesting, hopefully. I'm the father of 6 kids, believe it or not, only 2 of which are still at home. The other 4 have grown up, moved away, what have you. And I have 2 beautiful little boys that I take care of, and you will see them frequently in my videos. They are currently 8 and 6 years old, but they're soon to turn 9 and 12. What do you think? 9 and 7. Anyway, professionally, I work in a hospital. I work with the mentally ill and drug addicts and alcoholics and that kind of thing. So that's about it. That's all I can really come up with for that question. Question 2. How long have you been hiking? As long as I can remember. My grandfather built a cabin in the Uinta Mountains, the first cabin that was ever built up there here in Utah. Squatters' rights right on the Provo River. And from the time I was tiny, my mom would take me to her father's cabin, and I was often exploring and hiking around, and I fell in love with the mountains at a very young age. I got involved in Boy Scouts later on, and obviously did a lot of exploring then, and have car camped extensively, which isn't really a talent, but hey, I've always had a need to get out there. And the hiking part of it, I really just picked that up since moving to my home that I live in now. I live very near the mountains in northern Utah, and because of that, I've really picked up on hiking and backpacking in the last, I'd say, 6 years. It's really become a driving force and a part of my daily life, really. Number 3, do you backpack? Well, if you watch the show, you know I backpack. I started backpacking as a Boy Scout when I was roughly 11 years old. And here's an obligatory shot from when I was about 11 with my backpacking gear on. Excruciating, isn't it? Okay, so that's me from a long time ago. That's almost in black and white. But yes, I backpack. That is, my channel is Utah Steve Outdoors, which means I car camp, I hike, I talk about outdoorsy things, I fish. I haven't really gotten into hunting yet. I don't know if I will or not, but the whole spectrum. I love the outdoors. However, backpacking seems to be my main forte, my passion, and that's what I find myself doing most of the time on the channel. What is your favorite trail food? That's kind of tough. You know, people complain about Mountain House because they get tired of the dehydrated meals, but I have yet to be disappointed by a Mountain House meal. I've tried other brands and not been happy with them. If you saw my Trail Foodie video recently, I always kind of show off my subscription box to the Trail Foodie company, trailfoodie.com. I do like to try varieties of things on the trail. I don't want to get bored with the same old thing, and I don't want to take things with me that I know that feel more like an obligation that I have to eat to keep my energy up rather than just really be able to enjoy them. Having said that, one of my favorite go-to things is corned beef hash in a can, which is not lightweight, and I take it all the time with me. I absolutely love to fry that up for dinner or breakfast and throw some eggs in it. It's fantastic. So that's one of my favorites, but this year on the channel I plan to try more actual cooking on the trail, not just dehydrated meals or canned or packaged or whatever, but actual fresh food cooking on the trail. So we can look forward to that this year, I hope. Longest distance hiked in a single day. That would be 15 miles. I am not a mile pounder. If you've seen my videos at all, you know that I like to do a lot of overnighters, just one overnight. I don't have a lot of time, but I can get a lot in those overnighters. So a lot of times I won't hike in more than maybe 4 or 5 miles, spend the night, enjoy my time at camp, and hike back out to the car. But the 15-mile trip took place when I was 17. I went on what was called a Pioneer Trek, where we pulled hand carts and walked along this trail that the pioneers supposedly walked along when they crossed the United States. And we did 15 miles the first day, and then after that it was like 10 miles and then 5 miles. It was a 3-day trek. It was exhausting and very inspiring. I really learned to appreciate what those people suffered through, and now I live, you know, a life that they probably never dreamed was possible, and certainly that I never dreamed was possible, but I'm grateful for. And I always think about that 15-mile first day because I'd never been through anything like that, and it was grueling. It was really grueling. So yeah, that's what came to mind for that question. Number 6, my most repeated hike. In recent memory, that would have to be Wheeler Creek Trail. I'm currently posting videos from a trip there overnight that I did by myself. Mr. Tmax and I, also seen in some of my videos, good friend of mine, Joe, we met there the first time and tried to spend the night and got snowed out. I've hiked there numerous times. I think I must have filmed 5 or 6 videos there by now. And the reason why is it's literally 20 minutes up the canyon from my house to that trailhead. And, you know, I often enjoy just getting out there. It's beautiful. There's a beautiful river, lots of open fields, lots of thick pines. It has a variety of things, and so I often go to the Wheeler Creek Trail to do some exploring. My most repeated camping area, though, would have to be the Uinta Mountains here in Utah. Number 7, my hike to-do list. I've always wanted to be a peak bagger. I've always wanted to like hit all these peaks in one year. I have struggled to make that happen. I broke my knee last year, my kneecap. I've gone through some personal changes in my life that have kind of disrupted getting things together and making them happen. For one reason or another, I have a lot more freedom now than I used to have, and this year I plan to hike Ben Lomond Peak, the highest peak here in the county. I want to hit a few others that are in the county, Lewis Peak, Willard Peak, which is part of Ben Lomond actually. I want to hit the Ogden Peak. What is that called? Why can't I think of that? Ogden Peak. It's not Ogden Peak. Mount Ogden. Mount Ogden. I want to hike to the top of Mount Ogden. There's a helipad up there. There's incredible views. You can hike that from Snow Basin, one of the ski resorts nearby, but only in the summer. I wouldn't try it now. Everything's still covered in a foot of snow right now, so who knows when this will happen. There is the highest peak in Utah called Kings Peak, And my son Murphy, my 22-year-old son Murphy, has hiked that before and wants to go again and wants us to go together. So he'll kind of be the trail guide on that one. So we have all kinds of things theoretically planned. Peak bagging. Those are my to-do hikes that are always in the back of my mind that I want to try. Compass, map, or GPS. Okay, I'm going to admit something here. As much of an outdoorsy guy as I am, I can't remember how to use a compass and a map. I know how to use a map, but I don't remember how to apply the compass part. I did it years ago, and I was pretty good at it, and now I have no memory of it. It's not like riding a bike, and so that is something I want to get back in touch with, because it's dangerous to go hiking and not be able to navigate. Most of the time I've used a GPS on my phone, just like Camilla said in her video. I just rely on technology, which is not always the best thing to do, because things can go wrong, and a compass and map don't run out of batteries. And I also tend to hike places I'm familiar with. I've researched really well and know exactly where I'm going and exactly when I'm coming back and how to get back. So I haven't really gotten lost or had a problem as far as navigation goes. Number 9, who do you like to hike with? Joe and I, we haven't really hiked. We camp together, Mr. Tmax. I hike with my kids quite frequently, my younger kids and my older ones. I hike with my dogs, Bob the St. Bernard, and Scraps the little German Shepherd mix, who seems to be afraid of everything. But mostly I really enjoy hiking solo. I think a lot of us would say that it's a very spiritual, centering kind of thing that you can do. Get out there by yourself in nature and kind of clear your head and think things through and come back feeling like you showered it all off, all the problems of the world off, and can face them again. So mostly solo, but if someone wants to hike with me, I have no problem with that. I just have to plan for it, that's all. Number 10, what 3 things do you look for while hiking? That's a thinker. I look for scenery, I look for wildlife, I look for Sasquatch and Chupacabra. No, I'm just kidding. I look for, I guess it's the things that you don't notice in everyday life that you might walk by and not pay attention to. I tend to look for things that, you know, an odd-shaped tree, or an old bushcraft shelter that someone has built and left behind and is long forgotten, or, you know, an incredible sunset or sunrise. Just so many things fascinate and amaze me. The older I get, the more I appreciate life and how much I don't know about it. When I was younger, I knew everything, and I'm grateful that I'm older and don't know everything. Because life gets pretty boring if you think you know everything. And I love going out into nature and realizing how small I am, how big the world is, and how incredibly beautiful it is. So many things, really. It's hard to pinpoint just 3. Anyway, so that's it for the 10-question tag from Camilla Ophia. I'm sorry, I have a hard time. She says it with her Swedish accent, and I feel like I'm just butchering it with my
lazy Utah boy American accent.
So I'm going to tag 3 people now for this. The first one is Devin with Backcountry Exposure. So now I've been able to tag him back for a change instead of him tagging me all the time. Next is Corbin with the Wasatch Gear Review, another local guy. These are all going to be local guys, because whenever it seems like whenever I reach beyond that, they don't watch my videos. It's wonderful that Camilla watches my videos all the way from Sweden. I get very few international folks coming in and watching my videos. And then third is, again, I'm going to tag you again, buddy, Mr. Tmax, Joe. I haven't seen your 5 top hiking or backpacking gear items yet. So now you got to do this. So of course none of you are obligated to do it. This is just for fun. If you don't, you don't. But I am interested in seeing these guys' answers and see what they have to say. So that's it. I'm done. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you out on the trail. Take care, guys. She tagged me in this 10-question tag. I just which is why you hear a lot of my singing in my videos, and I also talk out my ass quite frequently.